What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your brother G World _D. Here's a book that I have been talking about by R.J. Jazbihoy. I don't know if I pronounced his man's name correctly. And I had this book for, a while. But I had to look for it, too, because I had it buried in so many other books. But it's called Ramses III, Father of Ancient America. All right. And as you know, as he sold the little wooden ships right there with the sail. And then he showed Ramses III. And then he showed the sun coming up from mounds. It talks about the connection, how he sailed to the Americas. Now, we got to also understand that Egypt was here in America, all right? And in Egypt and Americas, I believe, is older. But I want to touch on a few points, some similarities, and I'm not going to really get on that issue, but I'm going to talk about some similarities because there's some of my people saying some crazy ass stuff, man. First, I'm going to go to page 23 of this book. I'm skip the book before I go to page 23. I want to emphasize something real quick, some similarities, and we'll go to page 23. All right, page 23. It says right here on this part, it says, okay, death. In Egypt alone, the body was laid out with arms crossed over the chest. This is the mummy of Ramesses III, figure 25. Notice he's folded with his arms in the X cross. If you look at a lot of those monuments that I showed before with the Aztecs, you've seen that symbol, that little X symbol, though. All right? And then here it is. And here is an Olmecoid statue from western Mexico, figure 26. You see with his hands crossed. All right? It says, let's see, western Mexico. His exposed ribs indicate he is dead. Okay. Exposed ribs indicate that he's dead. Let me go back. Perhaps his bowels have been taken out and replaced with a romantic substance. While this was a usual practice in Egypt, it was also known in Mexico. And another thing, Mexicans place masks over the face of the dead. This first began in Olmec times, and this Olmec jade mask, figure 28, is a reminiscent of an Egyptian one in wood. Okay? Notice the little X symbol with the Olmecs on one side and Egyptian on the other. Alright? And I'm going to take it a little further right here. Okay? Afterlife. The afterlife of the Egyptians was a rural paradise called Yarrow. Here, Ramses III is seen plowing and reaping his barley. Just got to go to this page right here. You see him doing that. This is the afterlife, right? Go back. All right. It grows with exceptional vigor there, and its exact dimensions are given. The Mexicans also conceive the underworld as a house of corn, Sincalco. And again, in Peruvian beliefs, the land of the dead was noted for having many fields. Its name Yarrow leaves no room for doubt that it is patterned after Egyptian Yarrow. All right, I'm just showing the similarities, man. Okay, that's one. Then I'm gonna go for here's one of the boats, that the type of boats Egyptian had. All right. Notice the horns in the front. All right. Kind of reminiscent like the Vikings, right? But we're gonna go to 40. All right. Page 40 of this book. All right. Here's something that I want to focus on again. Okay, page 40. Okay. Here again, the Olmec counterpart, figure 53, is an Olmec. It's folded. Notice he's sitting folded. okay, of the Egyptian scribe, figure 52, the Egyptian scribe, is so similar that the kilt makes the same oval over the knees, and the rendering of the wig could not be more alike. But look, no, but notice how they sitting posture. And yeah, the clothing type, but look at the sitting posture. Knees, the legs are folded. All right, the legs are folded. That's a similarity right there. All right, I'm gonna go to 53. 53. Oh man, I'm skipping through this book. I don't know if you can still get this book online at a cheap price. You may, because when I got this book, it cost me, I forget, about $17 or something like that. Okay, notice his Egyptian figure right here. Hand out of the way. Egyptian figure with hand going to the mouth. Here's an Olmec figure. Alright? That's another similarity, man. This stuff is it's so obvious in your face, man. Here it is. I'm gonna read this. In Egypt, it's okay, let me focus it. In Egypt, it had not been treated simply as a myth, but was actually celebrated in an annual festival called Uplifting of the Sky. Oh, look at the Olmecs. Alright? Here's Egypt. Olmecs is Egypt. Alright? The Egyptians conceived the dawning sun as a child. Texts describe him as child of the sky, who dawns in the bow of a ship and sails, with the king to arise in the bark of Ra. He is Horus, the child, the babe with the finger in his mouth. Here he is on the sun's ship in Ramesses temple, figure 69. Alright? And this Olmec terracotta baby, figure 7, is not just 70, is not just any baby. He too must be the solar child, since he has a star on his forehead. Alright, so yeah, you can't see it right there. Let's see. A finger in his mouth. And Mexican texts describe the emerging sun at dawn as the beautiful child. Alright, there's another look at this. Here's Egypt. Here's the Olmecs. Alright. We're going to go to page 55. Alright, page 55. Go a couple pages down. I'm going to show you, here's one of these little sun boats, little solar boats. And then there's the serpent. Alright, here we go. We're going to go to page 55 right here. Am I right? 55. I took 50. Yeah, 55. I'm at 55. And here it is, this. Right here, I want to notice right here. You know. Okay. On page 55. No, my bad. 58. I want to go 58. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to go to 58. Here's what I wanted to show. Alright? Here's what I want to show. What transpired when the Egyptian sun god Ra entered the underworld and came face to face with his chief god Osiris? We're told that they united, and this is shown usually by combining the lower half of one god with the upper half of the other. Alright? It goes on to say, the same two gods are physically combined in Mexico, only laterally rather than vertically. Egyptian you see vertically, the Olmecs is laterally. You know, in this Mexican version, figure 78. Here we go. We'll see. The skeletal underworld god is on the right, and the sun god on the left, recognizable by his usual attribute, the hanging tongue. Tongue sticking out. And again, the two are united into one of this Olmec terracotta. since one half of the figure has to be solar. This proves that the child in the Olmec art must refer to the solar child. Alright? Here's another thing. Just said the words. Another thing that happens to Osiris, I'm trying to focus on my camera. Another thing that happens to Osiris is that as the sun's boat comes near him in the underworld, he revives and raises his head. Or in the other worlds, he is resurrected. This Olmec sculpture with a powerful Africoid face must again be Osiris. He too lies prone and raises his head in a manner unknown elsewhere in the world's art. Notice here's Osiris right here, image of Osiris, Egypt. And here's the Olmec head sticking out, alright, in the same type manner. With head sticking out. Now that's obviously Negro rocking a fro, man. That is no mestizo. That's a Negro rocking a fro, man. I mean, this stuff shouldn't be discussed. Alright, we're going to go to page, let's try page, I did 58, 59. Okay, it's page 92. We're going to go to page 92. I want to show some similarities, man. There's a lot of people who know the similarities and know the history, but a lot of people don't. And we need to know this. And that's why I also give you sources, man. Here it is. Stone sculptures. Carved human figures on stone pose something of a problem. There's one type that squats with legs crossed, and the Itawa site both the male and female are seated in this manner. Okay, that's the Americas. The female leans forward, probably because of the load she's bearing. Okay, let me focus this board better. Probably because of the load she's bearing, which is which is suggested to be a schematic or symbolic infant on a crater board. There is a monumental sculpture from Olmec, Mexico, now in Jalapa Museum, which is seated in the same posture and leans forward, but his arms stretched down to the ground as though he is performing some task. So it could be said that while there is some similarity of form, there is difference in function. In any case, the mode of sitting is common enough, and in this respect, no one will claim a direct connection. There is, however, a different mode of sitting which is comparatively unique in ancient human representation. This is one in which the left knee is bent and the bent leg supports the weight of the body, while the right leg is folded up and helps balance the body. There are scattered examples of this posture in eastern United States, including one from Wilson County in Tennessee of the Mississippi period. Another from the Temple Mound, Tennessee, suggests to have been a hero horse figure placed in the mound as an offering. Figure 116. And yet another from the eastern states in the Duck River in Gray culture, in which context is suggested to have been the grandfather of the Muskogean communities, a special deity connected with the sacred fire and sun. This mode of sitting is almost exclusive to the art of ancient Egypt and originates there. Ramses III is shown sitting in this manner not only in his funerary temple boating in paradise, but also in his tomb on a ship heading to the west. Now I'm going to show you this, man. This is the Americas right here. The folded left knee with the hand on it, and then the right is upright. Look at the horns of the Egyptian boat, the sail, and you see the same thing with ancient Egypt, man. You see the same thing with ancient Egypt. Knee folded, but he has his arms like going to his chest, but the one is upward. His right leg is up. The bottom is folded to the ground. Right leg is up. Here is in Americas, man. All right. There's some YouTubers, man. I don't get it. One Negro YouTuber who's supposed to be pretty big claims there's no proof that he knows no proof that our people was in America. All this dude's talking about is Africa. And I just showed you several similarities of the Egyptians and people in the Americas, in which I believe that the Egyptian, there was a connection, strong connection to the Americas and so-called Africa, particularly South America. Because you had some damn mummies there or mummified figures that are very old there. Yeah, your seashell pyramids off the coast of the eastern coast of Brazil. All right, you have not only pyramids, you have mounds, man, big massive mound type pyramids. I know with Cahokia in southern Illinois, man, near St. Louis, man. What I don't understand, it is so much information out here that would tell you that our brothers and sisters use ships to travel around the world, wooden ships. But not only that, I also believe that the continents were much closer than what they're telling you at a more recent time. But then as they start to drift apart more freely, then they have to use boats for deep sea travel. Our brothers and sisters had the knowledge of navigating the damn planet. And what I really believe is that Egypt in the east is where the sun set. In South America, is where the sun rises. In South America, that's where it's set. So, North Africa, where the sun rises, here in America is where the sun set. I believe those two were together. I believe those were the two Egypts. I really believe that, of the empire. The sun set here in Americas, while the sun rises over there, over in Northeast Africa. I believe they were both connected together. The cultures had some similarities. And that's why you find these pyramids, these massive pyramids all over the place. The sun set over here, while it rises, Osiris rises in the east, over there, and then he sets here in the west. You know, there's some other stuff. I got books on the Egyptian book, but I want to show this book. And some things he says that some stuff originated in the Middle East is a bunch of BS. But this is a good book to read, to understand. I haven't read it in a while, man. I had to pull it out. But this is a damn good book, man. Because it's showing you connections to ancient Egypt being here. Because I've heard these goofy Negroes, man, who claim to be, quote, black scholars, said that this not happened, man. This didn't happen. It did happen. Our people travel around the damn world, the planet, man. Wake up, brothers and sisters. I'm giving you my sources. I'm going to give you some more. I just want to show you some similarities right here. And those are horns in this damn ship, man. When you think of horns, man, what do you think of? Some damn Vikings, man. But look at the horns in the ship, man. Look at the horns right here in the ship, man. Like I said, when you think of horns, you think of Vikings. I'm going to stop right there, brothers and sisters, man. Our information's there. You got to go seek it and want to learn it and want to get it. Don't buy into this DNA stuff. A lot of that stuff has been pre-marketed to say all of us came from West Africa. That's a lie. And then they have the markers for in America they have for Asians and white folks, man. Wake the hell up. The information's in front of your face, man. Here's the book. Ramesses III, Father of Ancient America. And on the book cover, you see ships, like wooden type ships with sails, man. Ramesses III, copper color, the sun, and the mounds, baby. This is your history. Get it back. Get it all back, brothers and sisters. Get it all back. This book, if you can get it online, it may cost you $30 to $45. It didn't cost me that much when I got it, man. But that was back. When did I get this book? I want to say back in the back in the 90s. Hold on. When did I get this book? Yeah, I got it back in the 90s. I want to say I got this back in the late 90s. But I knew about this book beforehand. All right, brothers and sisters, man. This is another one of my sources I'm going to give you. I'm just talking about the connection. Now, there's certain things you think he says up in there, you just look over it, okay? But I'm going to give you these books and give you sources of connections that our people are always connected in what we now call Africa, here in Tamaray, America, and also Over in Asia, there was always a connection, and in with the nobility in Europe, there was always a connection with our people. So you need to understand it. But we are indigenous to this land. I'm just giving you another source that you need to check out. This book is it's an excellent book, man. It's a little smaller book, but it's an excellent book. All right. I love you, brothers and sisters. This is G_D, man. Chilling out on a Sunday night in the Shy. We had a nice warm day. I'm gonna do some stuff when I go up to when I go over to Hammond, Indiana, and do some more shots over there. Just dealing with Wolf Lake. I love going out to Wolf Lake, man. It's beautiful. And I'm gonna do some shots there, and then just do a few videos there. But I'm also gonna continue. I'm gonna do one about mounds eventually. I'll probably do that maybe in sometime in April or May. But I'm gonna do one of mounds. But this is exclusively on mounds. But this is a book, Ramses III, Father of Ancient America. Please check it out. Please try to get it. This is another source I'm giving you, along with reading Ancient Modern Britons by David McRitchie, Volume 1 and 2. Nature Knows No Color Line. Then there's another book by Egyptians I'm going to talk about that I believe he wrote. This gentleman here, this author here, is about Egyptians in the Pacific. Got several of them books about that. We got to understand our people traveled the world. We were not just landlocked in some Africa or even here. My only brothers and sisters travel from Africa to here. My brothers and sisters travel from here to Africa, to Asia, to Europe. We traveled the damn planet. We got to get out of that mindset we descended African slaves. I'm hearing Negroes saying they descended from some Nigerian slaves, man, that came from Nigeria. Stop that. Stop that. Our people all over the planet, man. Many of them brothers and sisters who were in Africa actually came from here. But we got to be more critical, analytical, and do more deep researching with our history. Like I said, I've been studying this for years, and I'm still learning. You don't know everything. If I were to say I know everything, that'd be very arrogant and ignorant of me to say that. But this is something that we need to continue to do. I spend my money getting so many books, documentation, journals, periodicals. I'm going to give you some of this information, man, because I want brothers and sisters to do their own research and gather up this information and compile this information and then find out who they really are. United descendant African slaves. That's a lie that them people telling you, man. That's a lie been given to you. And unfortunately, you got these Negro scholars who continue to push that lie. We come from a great history, a great people. We've always been a global people in the fact that we sailed around the world and we plant our civilizations and culture around the world. We build pyramids and mounds around the world. And that some of that stuff that these fools try to burn and destroy is still there. It managed to survive. I guess the answer is to find a way to hide that stuff for it to become about to be resurrected again. For us to see it. For us to regain that knowledge, man. This is our history. We need to reclaim and regain it. Take it back. I love you, brothers and sisters. I'm going to try to get better in my presentation. Try to get everything smoothly done. But like I said, I have a computer, but I feel more comfortable doing my phone. I got one of those little devices, got them sticks. I may use that because I know it shakes, and I'm tired of the shaking because I'm trying to hold it with my hand, my phone. But other than that, I don't want to sit here and be rambling, but Ramses III, Father of Ancient America, get this book. Like I said, don't listen to these Negroes telling you that the first record that they have of black selling in America, supposedly Mansa Musa, and there's no truth to that. Stop that. Stop that foolishness. Don't listen to these Negroes, man. There's plenty of them online talking that nonsense. We've been here. We've been here, and you need to know that we've been here. Peace and love. Good night.